This is Two Ladies with Best Adventures. I'm reading Heaven is Real, and this is chapter 20. The spring of 2004 marked a year since Colton's hospital stay. Hey, Dad, turn that down. Colton's hospital stay. That year, Good Friday fell in April, and just another month, Colton would be 5 years old. I always enjoyed Good Friday because I'll do what I call come and go family communion. That meant I would hang out at the church for a couple of hours and families would come and take communion together. I liked it for a couple reasons. For one thing, it gave our church families a chance to spend some special time during Holy Week. Also, it gave me a chance to ask individual families about their prayer needs and pray with the whole family right on the spot. That morning, I needed to run some errands, so I put Cassie and Colton in my red Chevy truck and drove a few blocks into town, still small enough to need a booster seat. Colton rode next to me. Cassie sat by the window as we drove down Broadway, the main street through town. I was mulling over my responsibilities for the day, thinking I had to be guide to the family communion service. I realized it was a religious holiday and I had a captive audience right there in the truck. Hey Colton, today is Good Friday. I said, do you know what Good Friday is? Cassie started bouncing up and down on a bench and waved her hand in the air like an eager student. Oh, I know. Colton said, I don't know. I glanced over at Cassie. Okay, what's Good Friday? That's the day Jesus died on the cross. Yep, that's right, Cassie. You know why Jesus died on the cross? At this, she stopped bouncing and started thinking. When she didn't come up with an answer right away, I said, Colton, do you know why Jesus died on the cross? He nodded, surprising me a bit. Okay, why? Well, Jesus told me he died on the cross so we could go see his dad. In my mind's eye, I saw Jesus with Colton on his lap, brushing past all the seminary degrees, knocking down theological trees stacked high as skyscrapers, and boiling down fantasy words like propagation and stereology to something a child could understand. I had to die on the cross so that people on earth could come see my dad. Colton's answer to my question was the simplest and sweetest declaration of the gospel that I had ever heard. I thought again about the difference between grown-up and childlike faith. And driving down Broadway, I decided to check Colton's way better. For a couple of minutes, I cruised along in silence and turned to him and smiled. Hey, do you want to preach on Sunday? Later that month, Colton threw me for another loop. This time it involved life or death. So again, I have a theory. From the time the child walks until about first grade, one of the main tasks parents have to do is keep their kids alive. No forks in light sockets, no blow dryers in bathtub, no soda cans in the microwave. We have been doing a fine job with Cassie. By then she was 7 years old and had pretty much ceased being a danger to herself and others. Colton, though, was a different story. As smart as he was about many things, there was one thing he just couldn't seem to grasp. If the human body meets a moving car, bad things can happen. Even though he was almost ready for kindergarten, he was still a compact little guy, which is a nice way of saying he took after his dad and was short for his age. He was also a ball of fire who, the instant we walked out the store, would take off running for the car. We were terrified that other drivers wouldn't be able to see him and might back over him. At least it seemed once or twice a week we would have to yank him back from a curb or shout after him, Colton, stop, and catch up to scold him. You have to wait for us. You have to hold mommy or daddy's hand. One day in late April, Colin and I had stopped at the Sweden Cream for a snack. The Sweden Cream is kind of a family-owned drive-in joint that is the small-town answer to fast food chains that all pass us over because we're small. We're too small. Every little town in Nebraska is one of these places. McCook has Max. Bethlehem has Dubs, and Holyoke, the little burg just over the Colorado state line. It's Dairy King, and they all serve the same thing: hamburgers, baskets, chicken fingers, soft served ice cream. Today I bought vanilla cones, one each for Colton and me. True to form, when we walked out the door, he took his treat and darted across the parking lot, which is only a couple dozen feet from Broadway. Hard in my throat, I yelled, "Colton, stop!" He put on the brakes and I jogged up to him. Red in the face, "I'm sure." "Son, you can't do that." I said, "How many times have I told you that?" And just then, I noticed a little pile of fur right out in the middle of Broadway. Seizing what I thought was a teachable moment, I pointed to it. "See that?" Colton took a lick of his own cone and followed my finger with his eyes. "That's a bunny who's trying to cross the street and didn't make it," I said. "That's what can happen to you if you run out and a car doesn't see you. You could not only get hurt, you could die." Colton looked up at me and grinned over his cone. "Oh, good," he said. "That means I can get back to heaven." I just dropped my head and shook it, exasperated. How do you scare some sense into a child who doesn't fear death? Finally, I bent down on one knee and looked at my little boy. "You're missing the point," I said. "This time, I get to heaven first. I'm the dad, you're the kid. Parents go first." And that is the end of chapter 20. Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers to start gatekeeping. Stay blessed, make the world a better place, one person and one moment at a time. Jenny, say hi.
Hello.
Yay.
Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start gatekeeping.
Okay.